As a fan of college football, week 5, I think it was pretty telling, and it was pretty entertaining, don't y'all think? Let's get into it. Hey, it's your girl Autumn, and I welcome you back to another edition of As a Fan of College Football. We had a great week 5, and I can't wait to get into it. But first, I must ask you to hit the like button. Like I say, every week you're going to like this video. As you can see, I'm trying to make a couple little changes. Got a little backdrop back here, even though I like my other backdrop with just my room or whatever. But I'm trying to do some different things. I want to also know if you guys have any suggestions, if there's anything that you guys think I would better cover, if there's anything that you guys would like to see me cover, any specific teams, just go ahead and drop them in the comments, and I will try to definitely do that. So hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe, and share the video. You know what I'm saying? Share the wealth. You can't say that I don't have a couple of funnies on here. Every once in a while. That's why I do the clips. That's why I clip it up a little bit. Because I get the clip talks, they be funny. I'll be over here cracking myself up. Anywho, let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about the action first. I always talk about Toledo and Bowling Green. So first we're gonna talk about Akron at Toledo. Akron went to the Glass Bowl and got they kind of got their ass handed to them. It was 3-45. Shout out to the Rockets. Toledo quarterback tucking. Toledo quarterback Tucker Gleason stood out throwing 3 touchdowns and running for one. He was 16 of 19 for 237 yards. Junior Vanderos, I always want to say Vanderos, but Junior Vanderos the third led with 9 interceptions for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. Eric Holly the third had 1 touchdown. Chip Trainum had 75 yards running and a touchdown. Toledo dominated in every single way possible. Again, all Akron really had was a field goal, so it's not a whole lot of stats to highlight for them. So kudos to my Rockets. Bowling Green at Ohio, 20-35. I figured that Bowling Green would probably take an L going to play at Ohio Stadium. And, Ohio is a good team. Ohio is a good team in the MAC. Ohio State played Ohio last week or a couple of weeks ago. And I don't know why people were expecting Ohio State to blow them out. Like that just wasn't a thing. Like that just wasn't going to happen again. Ohio was the MAC champions last year. Very good football team. There's really not much you can say about it. Ohio quarterback Parker Navarro was the star, throwing for 2 touchdowns and also running for 2 touchdowns. He was 17 of 25 for 208 yards and 1 interception. On the Bowling Green side, Drew Pine had 3 interceptions and 1 touchdown. So it sounded like it was trouble in paradise for Bowling Green's offense. They were completely outplayed, and I figured they would. I mean, the score, it was 20-35. I thought that Ohio would probably score over 40 points on Bowling Green, but I guess Bowling Green tried to hold their own, and that was that on that. So kudos to Ohio. Moving along, so you guys know I like to check in on Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs from time to time. So they hooked up and played number 25 BYU at Colorado. Did not win. It was 24-21, so they lost by a field goal. Colorado takes a last-minute loss due to BYU's linebacker Isaiah Glasker intercepting Caden Salter's pass with 50 seconds left in the game. How devastating. We've seen this. So we see this often. I feel like this is something that we've been seeing often in college football. It's always devastating to see. Colorado had a bunch of penalties. They had 6 penalties for 67 yards, 2 that were defensive pass interference. So y'all already know them any pass interference calls just be the worst. I mean, like 15 yards, you don't want to be one to take that L. So it looks like they had some issues on defense. Looks as if the Cougars did have their hands full, but they pulled it off with quarterback Bear Boschmeyer throwing 19 of 27 with 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he was out there. He did a little something. You know what I'm saying? He went out there and did what needed to be done. Colorado was pretty much, they were outthrown. They were outrushed. Like, it was one of them games that came down to that last play, and they just did not deliver, which is unfortunate for Colorado. Deion Sanders was clearly frustrated in the post-game interview, saying sometimes it felt like the moment was just too big for some of our athletes, and they've got to do something about that. I'm not going to make excuses for them. They've got to step it up. They got to step up. I don't know what else I can say about it. And so this kind of brings me to a little bit of a dialogue or a little bit of a thought that I had concerning coaches and players. So I know was it last year? I think it was last year when I was looking at when I was paying attention to Georgia, because I really wanted Georgia. I really wanted that league back. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Ohio State deserved that league back, and I feel like Kirby went into that game, the game that they lost. I can't even remember who it was they played, but they went into that playoff game, and I don't think it was Kirby, which a lot of people always like to blame the coaches, which is something that, the more and more that I watch college football, the more and more I see that I guess it's football overall. Like, teams start losing, they want to start blaming the coaches, but guys, sometimes it's the personnel. Sometimes it's the people on the damn field that's not doing what the hell they supposed to do. And I feel like that was the case with Georgia and Kirby and Carson Beck. Like, again, I say it all the time. I just don't feel like Carson Beck was playing his best at Georgia. So I think that this is something that Coach Sanders is saying, like, I've done all that I could do. They have to do what they need to do. Another person that has said this is Bill Belichick. He says it all the time. He's like, all I can do is coach. All I can do is tell them what needs to be done. They have to be the ones to go out there and do it. And all you can do is respect that. I mean, Bill Belichick is a Hall of Fame NFL coach. I mean, it just is what it is. He's a great coach. You can't take that from him. And honestly, when you think about Deion Sanders, he's a great coach too. Look at what he has done in Colorado. Colorado was down and out. Let's not, we got to put some respect on prime time name. Like, Colorado was down and out before he got there. So he definitely went and turned that program around. But it takes, he can't go out there and be the one to, play. He just can't do it. He's retired. He's not in college anymore. He can't do that. All he can do is coach. We've had talks last year. All of us was pissed off at Ryan Day for the game that was coached against Michigan. And Ryan Day has stepped up and said, that was my bad. He coached a bad game. He did. The calls were crazy. Like, I don't know what it was. They didn't do what they were supposed to do coaching wise. So, and we all think that had the coaching been better, that we would have won that game. So, it just is what it is, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, we're gonna move past that. But BYU held them off, and that's all you can really say about it. Shout out to them. Let's talk about number Georgia. Number 16, Georgia Tech at Wake Forest. I said Georgia Tech was going to win this game. I did not realize it was going to be as close as it was. Yellow Jackets are 5-0 at this point. So I want people got to pay attention to Georgia Tech. Remember last year they were like, they upset. They had maybe one or two upsets or whatever. They've had an upset this year. Who did they upset? Clemson. They're playing good football. They're ranked number 16 right now. They'll probably slip into, if they win out, they'll probably slip into the playoffs. They'll probably be one of those teams like TCU was last year, or what was that, last year, year before last, whatever. They'll SMU. They'll be one of those teams that barely slip into the playoffs. They probably won't get far, but they're playing good football. You can't say anything else about it. So anyway, they played Wake Forest, and they beat Wake Forest in overtime 30-29. Okay, so Wake Forest mascot. I just got to get this off my chest. Wake Forest mascot is called the Demon Deacons. I'm like, what? How does that work? Like, where did this come from? So just doing a quick little Google search, I'm gonna just read off the AI overview because yesterday when I was looking into this, the story just it's like so many different stories behind how this name came about. I'm still don't really understand what a demon deacon or what is it? Is it demon? A demon deacon? I don't know what that's supposed to be. But anywho, it's their mascot. It says the name combines the university's founding in 1834 by Baptists with the term demon, which is first publicly used in 1923 after a decisive win over the Trinity Blue Devils. The official mascot costume, first worn by a student on a dare in 1941, features a debonair deacon figure in a top hat tuxedo and carrying an umbrella. So Wake Forest was founded by demons. Wake Forest was founded by Baptists. A school reporter dubbed the football team the Demon Deacons after a devilish win. That's what it was. After a devilish win over the Trinity Blue Devils. I'm still trying to figure out like what is a devilish win. I'm not really understanding that. And then there was some like controversy because at first they were saying like I want to say that on the actual website it says this happened in 1922. There was like a win over Trinity. Trinity is now something else. Is it Duke now? What is Trinity? There's Trinity is like a different school now. But Trinity supposedly lost to them in 1922 according to like one of these websites, but that's not true. Like somebody looked it up and it was wrong. But anywho, that's what a deacon demon is. It still doesn't make any sense to me. A deacon demon, a demon deacon. I don't know. I'm messing it up, but whoever, whatever. Moving on. So anyway, they lost because they failed on a 2-point conversion in overtime. So I guess it was one of those games where they was like, oh, we gonna end the game right here in overtime, and they went for 2 and they didn't get it, so they lost the game. Georgia Tech trailed 20-3 in the third quarter. There was a key offsides non-call on Georgia Tech right before they kicked the field goal to go into overtime. The refs have literally been doing the least. I don't know what's going on with the refs. Again, I guess I got to say it every week. You got to outplay the refs. You got to outplay the refs. Can't let it be close because if you leave it up to the refs, it's gonna be you're gonna be upset every time. So you just can't do it. Georgia Tech's Haynes King threw 28 of 42 for 243 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Wake Forest Bobby Ashford threw 13 of 28 for 219 yards with 1 rushing touchdown, along with Demond Claiborne's 2 rushing touchdowns. So sounds like it was a good game. I didn't get a chance to catch that one, but it sounds like it was pretty exciting. So shout out to Georgia Tech. All right, moving on to Indiana at Iowa. Indiana was ranked number 11, and they won the game 20-15. Fernando Mendoza threw a touchdown to Elijah Surratt with 1 minute 28 to go in the fourth quarter for this win. Mendoza threw for 233 yards. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied today. And completed 13 of 23 passes, but it seems that there were issues with the offensive line as he was sacked twice and hurried 5 times. So that's always an issue. Like, what's going on with the O-line? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't win if the O-line folding. You just cannot. You just cannot. We see this in the NFL all the time. I've been saying it about Justin Fields since he's been in the damn league. Like, he just can't. He just don't get a chance. He was over in damn Chicago, straight running for his life. Like, what hell? CJ Stroud was too initially, and he still was out there balling though. I ain't gonna lie. He was still making it happen. But to see, like, I just be feeling like, what are they getting out of the port? Are they only looking for quarterbacks and wide receivers in the portal? Like, sometimes I just don't understand. It's like some of these offensive lines, they got to get it together. They got to get it together. It's just not making a whole lot of sense to me. The Hawkeyes didn't take this loss laying down, though, and seemed to give Indiana a run for their money. Mark Gronowski, I always want to say Gronkowski. Don't know why. Well, because there was a Gronkowski that played for Toledo. Mark Gronowski was 19 of 25, 144 yards before being hurt in the fourth quarter. He was replaced by Hank Brown, who finished 5 of 13 for 48 yards. So tough loss for Iowa, but Indiana pulled it off. Okay, number 21 USC at number 23 Illinois, 32 34. Illinois pulled this off. It was a crazy game. It was a very crazy game. I thought USC was gonna catch up, and they didn't. Like it was looking like they were, but because Illinois, they took a lead early in the second quarter, and USC never truly recovered from that, which was crazy. Like I just knew, I'm like, yeah, it was like they were just trailing from behind. They just kept trailing from behind, and they just couldn't catch up. USC went on a great comeback run in the fourth, scoring a touchdown with 9:54 left in the fourth. They were gifted as Khalil. They were gifted as Khalil Ballantyne fumbled, and Christian Pierce recovered it, set him up to score again with 1:55 left in the game, and finally in the lead, but it wasn't enough. Illinois went down the field and kicked a field goal. Like they just couldn't get right. It just was not meant for them to win this game. But it was a shootout for sure, with both quarterbacks throwing over 300 yards. So them boys was putting it in the air. USC Jaden Mayava was 30 of 43 for 365 yards, 2 touchdowns. Illinois' Luke Altmaier was 20 of 26 for 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. So another great game. But what is it with people feeling like college football ain't the greatest sport ever? You're not seeing this in the NFL. You're just not. It's crazy because I have gotten to the point where I turn the games on Sunday, and I still sit and watch them because I love football. Football is my jam. Just like I sit and watch the UFL. Sometimes I watch Canadian Football League. Like I watch all of that stuff. But like, we're not getting games like this, especially like the primetime games are insane and ridiculous and stupid. Like, how do we have 2 boring ass games on a Monday night? Or was that Sunday night? Whatever night it was, they put them 2 games on. Like, what is going on here? I'm not gonna hold you. I am looking forward to like the Slime Bowl or whatever it is that Nickelodeon gonna have. I think that's this week. So I'm definitely gonna tune into that on Nickelodeon, because Pat Starr be in the booth and he be talking, he be talking all types of crazy, and I love it. So but outside of that, like, it's just, the excitement is just not there for me anymore. And I don't want to, people like, oh, that's just because the Cowboys ain't winning. And I'm like, well, the Cowboys have not been winning. This is not nothing new. And let's just say like 10 years ago, I was still enjoying the NFL. Like they ain't really been doing too much in the past several years, decades to be exact. So it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just the excitement is not as exciting as college football. Look at these scores. Look at how these guys are winning and losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just been great. It's just been awesome. Like, it's just, the energy is high. It's amazing to watch. And then knowing that, like watching the different upsets and stuff like that, it's just, I don't know. I can't explain it. I love college football. So I'm gonna pick college football before I pick the NFL. Moving on. Sorry. Welcome to my, thanks for listening to my TED Talk. All right. So USC took a L. Is how we wrap that up. Number 4, LSU at number 13, Ole Miss. And guess what? Ole Miss with the upset. Lane Kiffin got out there and got them boys together and was like, hey, Ole Miss is back. Hey, SEC, Ole Miss is back. Like, how do you mess around? How do you lose to Ole Miss in 2025? I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know. It's a crazy story. However, I think I knew that Ole Miss was gonna win this game. I gotta go back and look at my video. I think I knew that Ole Miss was gonna win this game. LSU has just been shaky. Let's call it what it is. LSU has not been super solid. So I don't know. I think I kind of called this one crazy, right? Ole Miss. So, but the biggest story about this game revolves around Trinidad. Is it Chambliss? I think that's how you say his last name. Trinidad Chambliss. Chambliss. Who transferred from Ferris State. It is a D2 school, okay? He transferred in and was put in the game, or was I think he started the last 3 games. Their original quarterback was hurt. And so he's been out there balling. They've won the last 3 games. He completed 23 of 39 passes for 314 yards, which was his third 300 plus yard game in a row since taking over for Austin Simmons. That was the other quarterback. So my guy went in there and said, I just want to let y'all know that I'm here, and y'all gonna need to put some respect on my name. Period. Like, I'm here. And I don't know what's gonna happen when Austin gets better, but Austin ain't playing like me. He's not playing like me. Like, we're doing this. Like, I am QB1. I need to remain QB1. Now, Austin will probably get better, and they'll probably put him in at QB1 just to see what it is, and then they're gonna take him out. Y'all, we see this story all the time, right? We see how this happens all the time. LSU's total offensive yards were only 256 with their Heisman hopeful, Garrett Nussmeier. So is he another one that's overrated? And this is total offense. This is not just passing, because he completed 21 of 34 passes for 197 yards. So he ain't even hit the 200-yard mark. So what's T? What's T with that? I don't know. Both teams are on a bye next week, but LSU plays South Carolina on 10-11, which should be an interesting game. And I'll be tuned into that one. I think it's going to be a good game. I can't even sit here and think of who might win right in this moment, but that's going to be a good game. With LSU playing the way that they're playing and South Carolina playing the way that they're playing, I just think it's going to be a good game. All right, number 8, Florida State at Virginia. Now, let me tell y'all about this game. I was in LA on a work trip Thursday and Friday. So Friday, after I got done with, work, I, hit up my best friend that's out there so that we can go and get a bite to eat, catch up, whatever. And she picked a sports bar, thank God. She picked a sports bar, and I'm getting texts from a friend like, OMG, this Florida State game, like, you have to you got to get to a TV. Like they're literally tied right now. Like, where are you at? Like, you need to be watching this game. So I get to the place, and I tuned in the fourth quarter, and Florida State was down 28-35. Then they scored a touchdown with 36 seconds left in regulation. And of course, I'm like, here we go, overtime. And not only did it go into overtime, it went into damn double overtime. Y'all know, listen, my anxiety is too high for this overtime shit. I just cannot. I know I say this every week, but it just is what it is. Last night I was watching the Aces and Indiana, Las Vegas and Indiana WNBA game. And I had to hit my homegirl Jay up like, bro, overtime, I'm about to go take a shower. The same thing happened with the Cowboys and Green Bay, who ended up in the damn tie. I'm not doing this. I can't. Now I'm not gonna hold you. If it's Ohio State, I just gotta sit there and figure out a way to calm down and watch the whole shit, because I sometimes I'm watching the Buckeyes play, and I'm literally just, if I'm not like wailing and screaming at the TV and doing all this, that, and the third, I'm literally just, I feel like a piece of cement. Like, I'm just sitting and I can't move. And it's all tension and anxiety. I just be stuck. Like, I can't do anything. But a lot of these games, I'm like, I'm not about to sit up here and have all this anxiety watching this damn overtime. And even though it's like so exciting, it really, really is. I just cannot, y'all. I can't. Sorry, not sorry. So anywho, but I was at the bar, so I was able to sit and watch. I was able to sit and watch this overtime, and it was actually lit. Like, this game was so damn lit. Florida State lost to Virginia 38-46. They had been kind of neck and neck from jump. They were tied at 21 at the half. They were tied with 21 at the half and 28 after the third quarter. Not only were they balling, they were also throwing interceptions. Florida State with 2 and Virginia with 3. So it was just a toss up. Like, but what I love about this is they were playing to win. They were playing to win. It was like a gamble. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gonna throw this ball up in the air and see what the hell happened, because we in a dogfight right now. And I can admire that in a sense. I mean, be careful, but I can kind of admire that. Like, they like, look, we just got to put this ball in the air. Somebody got to do something. Like, but maybe, the run game wasn't doing what it was supposed to do and they were just putting it up. Florida State is starting to kind of show their true colors. Again, y'all know we've been talking about Florida and their teams. And did they lose to Miami last week? I think they lost to Miami last week. They beat the Gators, but then lost to Miami. And so I think we're kind of settling in on who Florida State is right now. A lot of football left in the season, so we'll see what happens. It was a great Friday night game. I'm glad I was able to catch the end of it. And yeah, shout out to Virginia. Number 17, Alabama at number 5, Georgia. Now, let me tell y'all this. Let me just say this. Georgia's Kirby Smart, fourth quarter Kirby, you made me look like a damn fool. You made me look like a fool. Every week I get on here and I talk about how fourth quarter Kirby is something to be reckoned with, and you got your ass out there and y'all lost 24-21. I was so sure that they were going to win this game. Now, again, I had them on a hate watch because, I would like both of them to lose. I don't really care for Alabama or Georgia, especially for Georgia. I really don't. But y'all know I respect Kirby Smart, but y'all just sat up here, y'all didn't snatch y'all 33 game winning streak at home. And y'all kind of let Alabama walk y'all. And, it just is what it is at this point. And I don't even really know what else to say about it. I sat there and I watched that game and I could not freaking believe it. I could not believe that y'all sat up here and lost that damn game to DeBoer and Alabama. Come on. They was just ready to fire DeBoer a couple games ago. And y'all just sat up here and lost to damn Alabama. And then what I didn't realize is they have been like, I guess Alabama kind of owns Kirby, which is insane. Like I had no idea. I knew it was a big rivalry, but I did not know like Kirby just wasn't winning against them, which is it's crazy. Like, right? It's crazy. Ty Simpson went 24 of 38 for 276 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground. Gunnar Stockton went 13 of 20 for 130 yards, 1 touchdown. But Georgia made up for their lacking in the air on the ground with Chauncey Bowens, 12 carries, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Total yards on the ground, 227, but it was not enough. It was not enough. One of probably the biggest highlights of this game was
I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy, I ain't been on the roof. Never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't yay on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy grill on the roof. Never seen a big boy grill on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy grill on the roof. Big boy grilling on the roof.
Big boy on the roof. Grilling on the roof. Big boy grilling on the roof. Hey, big boy grilling on the roof. That boy got up there and they threw that screen pass to him and he ran over everybody in his way and got them good 11 yards. But anybody who watches football loves to see a big boy getting down the field. Loves to see them getting down the field. Like, let's not. Like, it was just so lit. He was so happy. Like, it was just lit. It was lit. Like, I loved to see it. So, like I said, Ty Simpson threw a screen to big boy on the roof, Caden Proctor, that's his name. He ran over everybody for a good 11 yards. I mean, like, he plowed over everybody. Like, nobody was left standing. And it was like he was grilling on the roof, big boy grilling on the roof. Like, let's go. Like, everybody on Twitter had the same thought. I was like, uh-oh, big boy on the roof. And every tweet I saw, everybody was saying that was tweeting out the video. It was so funny, but kudos to him. Kirby noted that they didn't play well on third downs and downplayed the hype of the rivalry during a post-game speech, which was crazy. He was like, I mean, basically he was saying like, we know everybody feels like this is a big game, but it is what it is. We just got to move forward, blah, blah, blah. But come on now. Nobody wants to lose that game. Now, again, we talk about Ohio State, Michigan. Damn, what's the name? Ryan Day was up there in that damn post game speech ready to cry. Like, we don't play that shit. Don't sit up here and act like, don't try to downplay because y'all lost. Don't do that. Don't do it. Because there's no reason why they should have lost that game. Zero. None. None. So that's that on that. Number 6, Oregon at number 3, Penn State. What did I tell y'all was gonna happen? What is going on with Penn State? What is it with Penn State? Penn State is 4 of 21 when playing top 10 teams. What is going on with them? And again, this is one of those, like, is it the coach or is it the personnel? Because I mean, every year they're ranked pretty damn high. And a lot of times in the postseason rankings, it has to do with um the strength of their players, right? It has to do with the personnel on the field. Because again, if you go back and you look at Texas, who was ranked number 1 over the number 1 team in the country that won the damn national championship, they ranked Texas number 1 because they had Arch Manning, who has done the least in comparison to what everybody felt like they were going to do. So, this is one of those things. It's like, is it Franklin? Like, is it him? I mean, like, they literally were chanting to fire Franklin. And I honestly don't know. I mean, of course, I watch Penn State during the Big Ten. We play them, all the time, and I watch them, but I haven't done enough digging to see like exactly what the problem is. But whatever the problem is, they need to get it together. Also, I knew that Oregon was going to go walk into that whiteout game and they were going to win. I knew that. Dan Lanning is a maniac. Like, a maniac. He's one of those coaches that he's very he takes a lot of risks. Like, they were 5 of 7 on fourth downs. Like, he's a fourth down guy. He's like, you know what, we're gonna take this risk. We're gonna run this fourth down. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. But that also tells me how much he believes in his offense. And I'm pretty sure that that's a great feeling for them. Let's talk about Drew Aller. I don't think he is as good as he should be in his third year. And that's Penn State's quarterback. He was 14 of 25, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And that interception is basically what lost the game for them in double overtime. What is he doing? Again, this is a personnel issue. It has to be. It has to be at this point. It has to be at this point. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Dante Moore, on the other hand, was 29 of 39 for 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, balling. Dante Moore was out there giving they ass the business for Oregon. And I think he a freshman. I think he's a freshman. Like, again, the chants were going on to fire Franklin, but honestly, I think this fell on the quarterback. I think this fell on them. But one thing I know for sure, 2 things for certain, is the number 1 and the number 2 teams in the nation resides in the Big Ten. So SEC can suck it at this point. Like, let's not. Nah, and I ain't out here trying to cap for Oregon, because we on their ass if we have to play them. But it just is what it is. The 2 best teams in the country reside in the Big Ten. What is there left to say? What is there left to say about the Big Ten versus the SEC at this point? Nothing. Now, I'm not saying that the SEC is mid. I'm not saying that. They have some great teams. They have some good games going on. Again, we just watched Alabama and Georgia. Like, again, Georgia shouldn't win the game, but they didn't. We on their ass. I don't even know what else to say about it. I can and Oregon, you cannot do anything but give them their kudos, because they came into the Big Ten. Nobody knew what was going to happen, and they came in last year and won the Big Ten title. They got put out in the championship run by the number one team in the country. That's neither here nor there. They came in, they did what they had to do. They're showing that they're doing what needs to be done, and I do believe that we're going to see them, Ohio State and Oregon, playing in for the title, the Big Ten title. So, and we'll also see both of them in the playoffs. So they may not have to play each other in the playoffs. Maybe they will. We just never know how that system works. But more than likely, they will play for the Big Ten title. Okay, so moving on to the number one team in the country. Ohio State at Washington. Ohio State beats Washington 24-6. I told you I was in LA, and when the game started, I was on a plane. I had to open up my tablet because I'm used to flying Delta, but I had to fly American Airlines, and American Airlines ain't got no TVs on there. However, I opened up my tablet and was able to turn on a little free entertainment, and the game was on. I just had to get that off my chest because it was a traumatic experience for me. Slow starts are going to be the death of me. This has been a thing for Ohio State for years. It's like, I feel like, are they like torturing the fans on purpose? I'm on this plane losing every bit of my shit because we didn't score at all in the first quarter. And I mean, neither did Washington, but what the fuck was happening? What was going on? I be trying not to cuss, but I can't help it. What the hell was going on? You know what I'm saying? Anywho, Julian Sand gets his first start on the road. It was winning the Big Ten matchup. I complained a bit about not being able to see him throw the ball again, but he went 22 of 28 for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, I cannot be mad at that. Can I be mad at that as a fan of the Ohio State Buckeyes? Like, I can't be mad at that. It's not like I don't know. It's okay. I think I'm going to say a couple of things here. Okay. I think that coming into this season and hearing so much about how great Julian Sand is, the fans want to see that. The thing about it is he has been great. Like, if we really think about it, he actually has been great. He's been extremely accurate. He gets the ball off really quick. He's carrying out the plays that are handed to him. So we cannot say that he's not doing what we expected, but we expected it on a more bigger, grandiose level. We want to see this ball in the air. We want to see this ball 40, 50 yards in the air. That's what we want to see. And it made me question if they trust him because, again, like y'all know, I'm a fair person. I said this about Bryce Underwood last week. I don't feel like they 100% trust Bryce in the air. Like, they trust him on his feet. But I don't feel like they trust him in the air, not even for short passes, to be honest. And in comparing the two, Julian is making the passes. He's on target with the passes that they are coaching him to do. Like, he's doing everything that they want him to do. And it shows in the stats. It shows in the stats. Like, he's doing well. He's doing well. I don't think that they don't trust him. I also don't think that, I don't know. I had halfway thought, and then it's funny. I thought this, and then I saw a reel, and then I was like, I don't know. I think I take that back. Like, at first I was like, maybe they are just kind of like saving, not hiding. The way that the guy said it is like they're hiding Julian Sand, da da da. But I'm like, maybe they're just saving these big plays for when they really need them, because I don't think that they really needed them at this point. And Ryan Day and Brian Hartline are playing to win the game. And that's what they're doing. They're winning. So do I feel like they don't trust Julian? No, because Julian is doing exactly what they want him to do. Do I want to see more of Julian? Absolutely. I don't know. I'm just a fan of college football. I want to see the big plays. We do. You know what I mean? I want to see the big plays. But I do respect Ryan Day and Brian Hartline's decisions to do what needs to be done to win the game without having to do anything extreme. That being said, Jeremiah Smith had 8 catches, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. So that's another thing. So we have people like Arnell Tate, we have Jeremiah Smith. We want them to get the ball. Like we want them to get the ball. But also we have to realize that Ohio State's depth charts are freaking insane. I mean, from wide receiver to running backs to the tight ends, everybody's getting a chance to get the ball. And I guess we can't be upset about that. And I think that these big players, Jeremiah and Carnell Tate, are going to show up when they need to show up. So when their time comes, we have so much football left, guys. But when their time comes, like Jeremiah Smith is still going to be looked at as the best player in college football, the best wide receiver in college football this year. I still think that he's going to receive over 1,000 yards. I think he's at like maybe 400 or 500 now. I still think that he's going to receive over 1,000 yards. Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. So yeah, he was 8 catches, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. Bo Jackson had 17 carries, 80 yards, which Bo Jackson in previous games was the one that was racking up all the damn touchdowns. But this time he didn't have a touchdown. You know why? Because CJ Donaldson had 9 carries, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. You see what I'm saying? Like the depth chart is it's unmatched. Like we have people amongst people that can do what needs to be done. Now, Brandon Ennis had 3 catches, 34 yards, one in which he fumbled on a punt return and pissed everybody off. He did. We were pissed. You know, people make mistakes. But I do think that I don't know what the deal is with special teams. And I think that might be probably our only like concern at this point in the season, because I feel like in like maybe the first or second game they had Jeremiah Smith doing punt or kickoff returns or whatever it was. And I'm like, what is he doing back there? So I don't know why we don't have designated people for that. Like, why are our receivers doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, that part is not making any sense to me. I don't know, but I guess we're gonna see how it plays out. One thing for sure, two things for certain though. Ohio State is back being the number one defense in the country. And honestly, you really can't tell me shit about it. You can't tell, there's nothing that you can tell me about it. There's no team out here that is holding these teams to whatever they said the average was, like 9 yards or 7 yards or not yards, but points. I think it was 9-point average a game or whatever. Like we have the potential to be better than we were last year. And I, in the beginning of the season, was concerned. We lost so much good talent. We lost our defensive coordinator, but Matty Patty then got out there and was like, "Oh no need to fret. I got this." And from what the guys are saying, you know, the videos that I watch on YouTube, and you know the people who really go deep into how these plays work, honestly, my brain don't. I can't like. I'm just a fan. I'm just a girl that's a fan of college football, and like even watching, I watched Urban Meyer break down like one of the defensive schemes at one point in time, and I had to watch it like 5 times because I couldn't. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, how is it like? How do you even come up with this? Like, this is just amazing, right? So, but watching, that's why I watch the other YouTubers, and I'm like, okay, let me see what they're saying about this. Like, Matt Patricia is like some sort of crazy ass defensive genius over there. And it shows. Like, can the defense get any better? I don't can they? They definitely are on track to be better than they were last year. 6 total sacks. Caden Curry with 3, Caden McDaniel with 2, Kenyatta Jackson Jr. with 1. They held Washington to 61 yards on the ground, no touchdowns. And now this is one of those we were supposed to go in there and it was supposed to be like this whole hostile environment and it was supposed to be like a very hard place to play, which I even felt like it was going to be like that. I know that Washington is not Oregon, but we went out to Oregon last year and we lost that game. And it was a very good game. It's not like we got our ass beat. We lost that game. And I was like, is this like just us going out west? Is it one of those things? I think people were upset at some of the coaching calls during that game, but I wasn't worried to the extent that we were going to lose the game. Like I was pretty sure that we were going to go to Washington and win this game, but I didn't know how well we were going to play out west, and we did great. I'm excited to see how we play in these next few games. I'm excited to see what happens when we play Penn State. We're going to beat them, but it'll be, I was talking to somebody last night. I'm like, playing Penn State, it's not like Penn State is a bad team. Playing Penn State is not an easy thing to do. But also, we're going to beat Penn State. Like they can't close these games out. I think this week we play Minnesota. Ohio State plays Minnesota at home. I think we'll do well. Mississippi State at Texas A&M. I think that's going to be a good game. Miami at Florida State should be decent. Let's see who else. Oh, Vandy at Alabama. That's going to be a good game. Boise State, honestly, at Notre Dame. I think that's going to be a good game. So yeah, we got some good football coming up. Wisconsin at Michigan. I think Wisconsin will give them a little bit of a test, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, we got some good football coming up for week 6, and that's really all I got. So until you hear me or see me again, peace.